Welcome everybody to our second installment of Queer Open Mic. I have a group joining me today. As you can see, it is going to be a lovely interview, and we have that performance for you at the end. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, comment below, let them know, show love, all of that. Okay, so let's get into the interview part, and then later on, we'll have a performance. Okay, so first off, tell us your group name, tell us where you're from, and what is your talent that you're presenting for us today.
Masani, what's good?
I'm Sunny, Sunchild Selah.
Fair Rapture.
I'm Demi.
And I'm Sir.
Together we're Siren.
Yes. Oh. That was pretty close. That was great. No. All right. I love that. Yes. So Siren is joining us for Queer Open Mic today. And we're going to make this a little more tailored to where they are right now and their experience as artists. And they have music out now. And so we are going to highlight that music. We're going to talk about that music in this interview. And then we're going to get into that music later on in this episode. Okay. So first question I have for you is, two of you tell me, what was the process like for creating this current project that you have out now?
So I can speak to my portion of it, and I fortunately was able to co-produce all the songs with everybody individually, as like somebody will come to the studio, bring their idea. That was kind of, Asani gave us a little bit of a theme. I guess we all like discussed it before, and then like we came individually to the studio. It would be either be me and Demi or me and Miles, and then we would like flesh out what some of their ideas, and then like try to like really explore. And for that last album was kind of the theme of love and different aspects of love. And so it was very interesting and a really great process.
Anybody else want to chime in?
More or less like what Sergio said, we kind of just felt that we might have needed to have a project out in order to kind of introduce us to the world, right?
Right.
So I came up with this idea around Saint Valentine needed us to come to Venus in order to help move water to Venus, in order to be able to have people be able to live there, right? Venus in astrology and tarot is really a planet that kind of deals with all types of love, familial love, platonic love, self-love, et cetera, and how we show up in those ways. Mm-hmm. And so that idea to everyone, it was like we should attack the project from that viewpoint of all these different types of love, right? And
yeah,
everyone kind of either already had a song or were in the process of creating a song that kind of dealt with that. And so then it was about, perfecting each song, which everyone I think did an excellent job doing, or perfecting the songs. So some people have multiple songs, and then it was about kind of tying those in together. And I think that the beautiful thing about the project is that what finally ended up facing the world was a different project than what was really initially proposed, and then even like the different iterations of it, right? Like when the Photoshop, it was shot multiple times. Because six people, six artists, six brilliant minds coming together to try to make something cohesive, make something sound beautiful. But the end result, I think, was really a huge labor of love that everyone kind of poured into in a variety of ways, whether that was, again, Sergio co-producing every song with everyone, different people writing different songs for people doing the interludes and then coming back and editing interludes, et cetera, et cetera. Like everyone kind of touched on various different parts, and then we will always send each other the songs and be like, hey, you should change these levels here, and you should edit this, and you should change this. So it was very much so all hands on deck from song one to the very end.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all got a really great flow going though. So I'm amazed by six people, being able to bring this together and, showcase what you got. And you're all very talented. The performance, I can't wait to show later. I've watched it at least 3 times already. So that's the pleasure I get of being the host, So, okay. So let's get to the next question here. How did the idea of the project of Venus Underwater just come together with everyone? With let's go with Sunny and Miles here at the bottom.
as far as Venus Underwater, I think to Asani's point in terms of like thinking through different modalities of love. For example, I'll take um my song, for example. So with my song, Wet Dream, it's like Black people and our relationship to water, and
Mm,
specifically my relationship to water, my love for water, what
mm,
that means, like what it means for Black people um, to just be like in relationship with water. We know the history of, the transatlantic slave trade and slaves being thrown overboard or jumping overboard. And things like that. So I wanted to like take something that was really deep and really heavy and make it like imaginative and light and
wow.
fun and whimsical because, you know, you turn on a civil rights documentary, the first thing you're going to see are like really treacherous, like things of like Black people being hosed with water. But what does it look like for us in 2024 to recontextualize our relationship with water?
Mm,
So that
mm,
really spoke to like my love for Black people, my love for our relationship to the elements, And then like for Miles, and I think they can speak. I'm sorry for Rapture, my partner. I think they could, of course, speak more to it. What Venus Underwater, or I'm sorry, what Venus Flytrap songs like Venus Flytrap and Rain Dance, um, how love was illuminated through that. So if you want to go ahead and take it over, babe, you can.
I think when it comes to the project, I was really excited about like dwelling into it, but I think I was the only person who just like made something from scratch. Um and I didn't really have something that went in, but I kind of had like a privilege because I was able to hear what everybody else was doing and then kind of think of like what were their gaps, because everybody was
yeah.
making such a beautiful song. So then I was like, well, I kind of felt like, oh, I could be like the jester and like and really like make some fun things around self-love, around kind of loving your darker side and maybe the sides of you that you might think are like not as, able to be loved. And then also, I don't know, just like kind of having this like embracing of um your fiery nature. I'm a Venus in Aries, so like I can be very like fiery and very
Yeah.
and I was like I want to make some songs that really like celebrate that side of me and not like apologize for it. But because everybody already kind of went the really mature, deep, soul wrenching route, it gave me a lot of privilege to just like let loose,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have fun.
I love that. Y'all are just a
Mhm.
big ball of talent and elements and different perspectives, and it's just coming together in such a beautiful project. I love the project. I hope y'all, people that are tuning into this, go and check it out because it is such an amazing project. It's very, very moving, to say the least about that. Okay, y'all. So let's get to some more questions here. Okay, so what inspires y'all music? What really goes into, I know y'all got the feelings, y'all got all these creativity, so where does the inspiration come from? Let's start with Demi up here. They haven't said nothing, you know what I mean?
I'm going to speak for myself and say that a lot of the inspiration that I draw my music from is really kind of based in like black jazz and
Mm,
blues and folk song. But as you can see, we even get influenced by folklore
mhm,
and fantasy. There's so many things that can influence us, and I would really want to speak to what really influenced positioning the songs that I did on the last project, like Moody and Call My Name.
mm,
And I really wanted to show the duality of what it felt like being a Gemini in love, right? It's so
yeah,
moody, it's so hot and cold. And I really wanted the chance to showcase that through the music. I'm a sensualist. And
mm,
so anything that I do with music, I want to make sure that I'm giving the words a big hug vocally. And I'm
mm,
so happy that I was able to do that with a couple of the songs on the album. So it's always a pleasure to find inspiration through vintage art, through um, old singers, and just always paying homage to gospel and blues singers. But really, I find a lot of inspiration in these four squares up here. A lot of it. So we all use each other and beautifully so.
For me, I get a lot of my inspiration like from my family. A lot
Mm,
of families musically inclined. Like
yes, I love that.
thank you, like my nanny, my grandma, who raised me, and so I grew up on a lot of like soul and old school and
Mm,
Ohio funk and um, kind of getting to add some of those influences to my music as well as just going off of like what spirit leads me to do
mm,
as like incredible. And then like Demi said, like all of these folks on this call right here are incredibly talented and kind of like just push you to think even further outside of the box, which is
mm.
I love to do. So it just I feel like we just fall right into each other when it comes to doing music.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
For sure. And I think for me, and I think I could for everyone, I think that spirituality, Afro spirituality is a huge component of a lot of the stuff we do. Like even like as I was writing the song for parkour for this project, um again, I know the theme was Phoenix Underwater, but I was also trying to attack it from like a water from attack the song from a spiritual aspect as far as like what water means when you are leaving an offering, right? And so when I was talking to Sergio about it, I was like, I need you to have like a like water dripping in the background. I want it to sound like water is hit, like a drop of water is hitting water in a cup to fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that even like some of the lyrics that I said like are talking about casting spells and like
Mm-hmm.
re it's like change energy with regards to um like in a relationship when things are not feeling the best or not feeling the brightest, and how can we shift things like that. Like I think we are kind of always talking about how to move and deal with energy and Afrospin and deeper, or not deeper, but I guess more intertwined than that, like spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
spirituality and how all those things are really connected. I think that that's kind of a running thing throughout the project when you listen to the interviews and listen to what's being said. That is like a running theme throughout the project as well, and I think that that is something that kind of has also connected us too.
Yeah.
Beyond beyond the project, of course, beyond the music, but I think that because it connects us as people, it just kind of pops up very organically. We don't have to really like think too hard about doing it. It's just kind of like
Right.
those are the lyrics that come, these are the thoughts that come, these are the things that pop up.
Yeah, I love that. And that's very interesting that you expanded on the word spiritual because that really popped out in my head when y'all said that, because I was like, that is how I felt when I was listening to the project. I felt very spiritually moved, like I'm really experiencing these feelings deeply with this project. And as you guys are explaining each, element to each song and how deeply rooted the stories and where you guys wanted to come from, as far as just putting this project out, it all makes sense now, and it makes the project so much more better for me. So I'm going to go back and listen to it again, just to get another experience. So, and I hope the people out there go and listen and get that experience as well. Okay, so a few more questions here, and then we're going to have your performance coming up, so I'm very excited for that. So are there any other performances that we have lined up besides this queer open mic?
In the throes of like putting together a show for Brooklyn Museum,
Ooh.
that I'm really excited about. So we're gonna be doing a 60-minute set for Brooklyn Museum. And as you can see, like I think we're all really dedicated to whether we have 2 minutes or 200 minutes to making everything a performance art piece, and
Mhm.
really presenting it in a way that is saying things that are both about the mystic and about the political. So 60 minutes is crazy. So that's what we are looking for. Like right now, that is like what is ahead of us. That's in June. So like I know it's just gonna be like a little Broadway funk revival hip hop moment for all of us.
Absolutely. 60 minutes. Whew. How are y'all preparing for that?
Water.
Y'all like got in the bag. It's good. Just turn the faucet on, rerun, and smooth. It's all right. I love that for y'all. Y'all energy is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. So to wrap this up, as far as like the project and everything, as people tuning in to ramp up the exposure to this project so people can tune in, what takeaways do you want listeners to get as far as when they tune in to Venus Underwater?
I think I really want for listeners to imagine new normals for themselves. In particular, Black queer people, brown queer people. I want them to think of a world that they have yet to see and to create it. We really try to talk about love in a super well-rounded way. So like Asani was saying, eros, agape, philos, like all the different facets of love, elemental. And I think that's really important because it's so easy for like artists to feel like relegated into talking about just one topic, relationships, love, desire, all those different things. But there's so much more that our lives involve. You know, it's so much more to explore, and there's so many different things to imagine, and there's so many different things to unpack. And so I really want Black and brown queer people to really just be imaginative, be playful, and think of things that are outside the box. I know he's persona non grata to a lot of people, but if you see right here, we have Picasso behind us, right? This print. And one thing that Picasso had said is that it took him a lifetime to learn how to draw like a child. And I think that that's so profound. And I think every artist should always go back to that place, because that's when you truly create from like a really, really pure place. And that takes imagination, that takes self-expression without inhibition. And I think that Black and brown queer people, this is a time that we can really tap into that, because the world is listening. And so that's what I know I want our listeners to be left with.
I think a lot of fun too. Like the album is a lot of fun. So like hopefully a lot of like self-empowerment as well. I don't talk left few like things that we did. Like I feel like I always get talked about like Venus Flytrap and like those things when being talked about, because there's like pop songs. But like I also did like a poem on there, and there's like these like clips that Asani wrote that got like remixed that are kind of like these kind of this kind of like telling of a woman who was abused, and Demi's acting out, but a woman who was like abused or degraded in a relationship and finds her empowerment back. So I think that like self-empowerment is the thing. Like I think if you really identify with each and every one of these songs and let them take you where they're supposed to take you, from Demi's Moody to the love and romance of Hudson View to the spirituality of Wet Dream and Parkour, the vulnerability of it, and then the campy funniness of Venus Flytrap. I think after you're like, yo, I'm a whole person and I'm empowered, and there's no part of me that I have to hide. So hopefully self-empowerment is a part of that, you know?
Yes. Demi, I want you to chime in here.
Definitely want listeners to just be reminded that music is to be felt, it's to be heard, and it's not all meant to be understood in the same way. And so, you know, the way that I listen to Parkour, someone else might listen to it differently. You know, the way that you hear Moody, I might have felt differently while I sung it, but that's exactly the point, right? It's all art, and it's all up to your to however you receive it. And so just continue to just stream the music and share the music and just really dive in, because honestly, I have to give it to us. You know, we're not exactly the most shallow of dolls. Okay, we things get very layered over here. So you hear it once, you hear it twice. The message is in the third time. So
Yes,
yeah, just keep streaming it and keep listening.
I love that. Sergio, Asani, you want to chime in?
Yeah, one of the things, definitely want to piggyback off of what Demi was saying, the layers. I think every time I listen to it, the layers are there, the elements are there. One of the things that I feel like, going back to like influences, and I think that you're gonna start seeing and hearing more from us as we bring in our how astrology and how we take sounds and manipulate these sounds from the planets and from the universe. And one of the things I would love the listeners to do is find those planetary sounds. Like I feel like they have these frequencies and they emit these energies, and they teach us about ourselves. So yeah.
My last question for y'all is, tell me one memorable moment that you've had since starting the group.
Christmas. For me, Christmas,
okay.
we all went to dinner at this really fab restaurant. And we had gone to dinner at this really great restaurant. And like a week later, there were like original Warhols inside of this particular restaurant. We all like took photos and we had a fab time and like it was wonderful. And like a whole week later, like Beyonce is at the same restaurant. So it's like, not Beyonce was copying us, but like just those moments of like togetherness, and when we're not just like work mode, but we're like just really enjoying being in one another's presence, like that means a lot to me because we're family first.
Yes, I feel that entirely. Miles?
I was gonna say Christmas for a whole other reason. We have a Christmas album coming out, and just a lot of like projects. So we were really, it's such a different sound, and it's so soulful and funky. But baby, when I tell you, we were in each other's face at 3 a.m. and there was times where I'm like, oh, these are really my niggas, because I don't got no more patience to give, and I'm like, I was raised like an only child, so that great dinner that Sunny was talking about was reward for us all having 24-hour studio sessions with each other and layering things and fixing stuff. So that is my biggest memory, where I'm like, oh, we could really do this, because if we could do this, there's something there, right? We have a strength between us.
Yes. With all that being said, we are finally going to get to the performance. I don't want to take y'all time for too much. Thank y'all so much for joining Queer Open Mic. We would love to have you back. We're definitely going to get your music on the station. And I'm so appreciative for y'all. Once again, this is Siren. I'm so excited. And we are going to have a performance right now, okay? They have sent in their performance, and I'm so excited. I can't say it how many times. So let's just get to it. And I'm gonna present it now.
So star to follow. It's the only star in the heavens that has no light of its own. The moon is known as being rather mystical.
Hello, Chicago. My name is Phil Rapture.
And I'm Sunchild Sela. I'm Demi V.
I'm Asani Armand. And on the keys, we have What's Good. And on bass we have Sir, that is spelled S-E-R. And together we like to call ourselves Siren. And we are giving you a very, very, very special broadcast live performance musical spectacular from the moon.
Hey, shorty, do you got plans? I wanna put something sticky in your hand.
What's that?
Butter pecan, some sweet to warm you in. Now how does cherries taste in your mouth? You know these only grow down south. I need a little watermelon sugar, baby. Come and let me quench that dry. I wanna get to know you so I can show you. Put the sunny on you, you know I love you. You're gonna love what I got to give. If I give it to you, baby, it's got to be real. Got to be real. Every man has a got to be real. Got to be real. Got to be real. Got to be real.
It gets sticky in my honey pie. It gets sticky in my honey pie. It gets sticky in my honey pie. Boys go boom, 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 boom. It gets sticky in my honey pie. It gets sticky in my honey pie. It gets sticky in my honey pie. Boys go boom, 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 boom. When the moon comes,
When the moon comes,
love her right now.
love her right now.
When the moon comes,
When the moon higher. Don't you hear me calling, baby? Love me now or I'll go crazy.
I love you like a bad bitch love ice. I love you like them Puerto Ricans love rice.
Unlike my heavy flow.
Sometimes I'm not nice, but if they ask you if I love you once, I bet you never had to think twice. I wish you understood when I got an attitude. A lot of times that shit don't even be about you. And yeah, I'm trying to get way better at conveying that. Sometimes I need to be solo and then I double back. I guess I just want peace like how white hoes is Martin Luther. But I don't take no shit, so I can see how that confuse you. Ruha, spell cast that bitch with my Nakuya. Trying to switch my ways, I never wanna lose you. Cause when it's starting to feel like this world is at war, I wanna feel like you help me keep my heart pure. I know that you be wondering what the fuck I be pondering. Cause how the fuck you make my heart jump like parkour? And when it's starting to feel like the war done touch home, I'm trying to figure out how we get us back in the zone. Cause with you on my team, we rock the biggest of dreams. But the bitch need to feel like my heart won't be left alone.
You're super sticky lover. You can be my super sticky friend. Oh yeah, you can be my super sticky lover. Stick to me until the super sticky icky, 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 and sugar wow, sugar wow. Every time you come sugar wow, my friend, sweet friend. Do you hear that sugar wow? Sugar wow. Simple hello, but it seems so loud. My friend, sweet friend. I guess I better float on. I guess I'm about to float on. I guess I gotta go on. Hey, take it down for a minute, let's go. We mourn under the moon, over the strobe of lights as bass plays, as the cymbal loops. We mourn elders snatched away as Reagan looks away. Hearts break over break beats. We don't only mourn in black, we mourn in sequins, sometimes in all white. We mourn while Sylvester's ghost hums and he is still mighty real. And Donna Summer's ghost states that she can still feel love. And we feel her, and we feel him, and we feel them. And we dance until our feet hurt, and we cry for our mamas and our papas and our cousins and our aunts and our uncles, and we dance. And we mourn, and we mourn, and we are the moon people. We are the moon people. Not Neptune, not Venus, the moon people. Not Uranus, the moon people. We are moon people. The moon people. Chicago, you heard me right. We are the moon people. But you can call us Siren. And we are broadcasting live from the moon.
Thank y'all so much for joining us on Queer Open Mic. I hope y'all enjoyed that performance from Siren. Please make sure that you head to the description below where you can check out their links to go and follow them, go and check out their new project that's out right now, and stay tapped in with everything they have going on. I'm going to let them do a little outro here, and we're going to wrap it up. So go ahead. Let's start with Asani.
I'm Asani Rahman.
What's good?
Demi V.
Sir.
I'm Sunchild Sela.
And I am Pharaoh Rapture, and together we are
Siren. Yes.
like the ones in the ocean. I don't cop cars.
Yes. Make sure y'all go and tap in with Siren. Make sure y'all go and check them out on E3 Radio. Of course, their music will be up on there. We'll be playing them. And I'm very excited. And I love that they were able to join us today. So like I said, make sure y'all go check them out. This has been Queer Open Mic with E3 Radio. We are signing off.